Hello and welcome back everyone to another How to Wield video. Now if you haven't seen my previous video, which is me just opening a box that I bought month, oh not month, 2 weeks ago, uh, 2 weeks of recording this, the link to that video is in the description below. But yeah, if you've seen the title and the screenshot, you know it's the Mace of Sauron from the Lord of the Rings trilogy movie, saga, book, series, video games, whatever type of media you've heard the title from. So yeah, this is the first mace weapon that I have, so yeah, let's just get to it, I guess. So obviously, for those of you who haven't seen the previous video, this thing is heavy. Like, not super heavy, doesn't weigh like a ton or anything. It just weighs a few pounds. Last video I said it weighed 40. I honestly think it weighs more like 20 now that I've held it around for a little bit. Now obviously you can either hold it by its handle, or what I like to do sometimes, hold it like in between the blades, I guess you could say. Just kind of hold it around like this, but it does hurt your hand, so you have to get a good grip on it, but it doesn't really like to stay horizontal, so I honestly suggest holding it by its handle most of the time. And yeah, obviously you can twirl it around like any other handheld weapon usually, or handheld melee weapon usually. And yeah, that's the holding it, just like you can either hold it in the kind of at the attention position, at the ready position, which has a few different handholds for it. This way is the longest reaching method, and this is the shortest reaching method for holding it. And by that I mean the reach of your strike. That's the shortest, and the longest takes two hands because the further down the from the middle you go, the heavier the head becomes. So if you don't want to be dragging into the dirt, I suggest holding this with two hands. So if you're someone who lost a hand during a battle or something, I would suggest moving to a different weapon rather than this, unless you prefer holding it at the shortest range possible for whenever you're in a fight, which I wouldn't recommend in my opinion. So yeah, shortest, second shortest, and this is about the longest. Pretty far, I'd say. I don't have measurements or anything, but I'd say each, like, from, I'm just gonna say knuckle guard to knuckle guard is about a foot, so I'd say you got an extra 2 to 3 feet of length, depending on where you hold this, or like 1 to 3 feet. Yeah. So that's kind of stabbing, but you can also use it as a bludgeoning weapon too, because it is a mace type weapon. And whenever someone refers to a weapon as a mace type weapon, they usually mean something like a sledgehammer, where it takes great strength to use it, but if you have the strength to do it, you can really do some damage to someone, even if you don't pierce their skin or anything. And also, if you decide to stab someone, you can push them up and just hold them up like Mercury did in the anime series called Gate, which I recommend watching. Very good anime. Very good. Uh, yeah, that's most of what this weapon can do. Just smash and stab. But that's offensive. For defensive, You can use it as just a normal like guard against a like slicing attack, or you can try and entrap a sword as weapon inside it. And what I mean about that is, well, first I'm not gonna bring out one of my swords to test it, because the way you can do this, you can actually break the sword of your opponent. So I don't want to break any of my swords, so I'll just use my hand. So let's say someone's coming in for a slashing method, and I decide to stab right through the attack. So hand coming down, my sword going, or my mace going in, and traps it. I just flick my wrist to snap the blade apart. I whip it out, like I whip it away from my opponent. The blade will probably drop, and then I just smack it back into the opponent. Pretty much enclosing my victory, usually. That's what would happen. So, if you were the opponent, imagine you slicing a sword. You cross me, stab, flick, take away, and then smash. And obviously, you can either like change your hands before or during the battle, which usually if you're in a battle, you will be probably switching your hands during it quite a lot. Like if you got an opponent in front of you, depending which side you dominate, it will usually be lunging that way. But also if you are like getting something away from an opponent, usually a good idea to come back at them with a full batter's swing, which is basically just how you swing a baseball bat. And honestly, just so you don't destroy anything, I would suggest like just practice using a baseball bat, then move up to a sledgehammer. They should be semi-cheap in like your local Home Depot or something. And then you can move on to the actual mace weapon of your choice. But do take notice that these are heavy, and they will take more strength than using a sword or just an axe or any light weapon, because I've just been swinging this around for a little bit, and I can already feel I've only got like another 5 minutes of battle in me. If I were to go into battle with this, it wouldn't take long for me to be out of stamina and have to fall back to position or get cut down by my enemy. So yeah, that's kind of the main like defect of this type of weapon, is its weight. It's super heavy. But the good thing about that weight is that it's easy to smash people with it. So like if you were to smash against someone's skull, it would probably shatter. Like the one shot out, it would just shatter inside and just bleed internally. But you could also just, as I've said, stab the enemy. But the thing is that you see the blades on the side. It's not really a slashing weapon. These things are just for the added force that they bring. You might as well just be swinging a sledgehammer at that point. Because if you think you're going to be cutting someone to pieces with this, I would recommend a sword for that. This would only smash them, make them bleed internally, and maybe have some bones poke out of the skin. It's a beautiful weapon, don't get me wrong. Just not my choice to bring into battle, honestly. I would honestly just use it if I grabbed it accidentally, but if I had a choice of weapon, it wouldn't be the mace. That's just my opinion. I prefer moving quick and light on my feet. So a mace, that's the opposite of my battle tactics. Beautiful weapon, but not for me. So before I just continue to repeat myself, I think I should end this video right here with me trolling the mace as I do. Remember to like, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below on like if you want me to actually show you how I would use this, and by that I mean just a video with music in the background with me just swinging this thing around like a madman, or just whatever you want to comment. And then, yeah, just stay unique, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.